Hey, Tico,
Sean,
shall we do a show?
let's do a
You're
show.
listening to the OMG hour.
Welcome to episode 399, my peeps. I'm just going to be someone I have never been for the last 9 years. I'm Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane, and I'm going to be crazy.
And I'm Tico, Mr. Second Place, on many less drugs than Sean is.
I was definitely on drugs today.
You were?
Well, for those of you who don't know, I am going through a bit of let's just say they found a tumor on my right kidney. So I went to get a biopsy today and never done one before. Didn't know what to expect. And they gave me what they call a conscious sedation. So it's just an IV and they basically give you drugs to relax you while they go into your kidney, into my kidney.
Get their core sample.
Core sample. Yeah, they go big huge drill. No. But I'm going to tell you, I don't even remember them doing it. Like, I thought I was awake. I could feel them kind of poking and prodding. And I was told that they would, after they give me the sedative to basically just calm you down, just to relax you, that they would then freeze the local area before they went in with the big needle.
Yeah.
I never felt a thing. Like, I don't even recall them ever using a needle. I mean, I'm laying on my side the whole time anyway, because it's my right kidney, so I had to lay on my left side and they go in on the right side. But I think I fell asleep, if I'm being totally honest. Because I don't remember them doing anything other than I remember them doing an ultrasound at first to isolate where they're gonna go, and that's like
Drugs are weird.
Right?
I had to have my wisdom teeth done ages and ages and ages and ages and ages ago. Like, a long time ago.
Oh yeah, because you're old. I get it.
Yeah. And I remember they give you the needle thing or gas or whatever. I can't remember what it was at this point even. And they give it to you and they're like, all right, we want you to count backwards from 10. I remember 7.
Yeah. And then you wake up and it's done.
The next day, I woke up. I remember waking up the next day. Now they won't let you leave unless you're conscious, and
But you don't remember it.
And you have somebody to take you home and everything like that. So like, I don't remember anything till the next day.
Well, see, when I had my wisdom teeth out, it was the same. They put me right under because I had all 4 of them taken out.
Yeah.
I remember counting down. I certainly didn't. I probably got to about 7 like you did. And then I remember waking up and it's all done, and I'm in the recovery room for like an hour while Dorothy waits until I'm awake enough to walk out. But today was not like that. Was deliberately putting me under. That was you're going to be put under so that you're out. This was not. This was like conscious. So it's just so that I'm relaxed and I don't really feel anything. But I think I've been so exhausted this week that I just laid there and I just like, you know what? I'm just going to go to sleep. I just closed my eyes, and the next thing I know, they're saying, okay, we're all done. And they wheeled me back in. Like, I was awake when they took me back into the room, but I promptly fell asleep again, probably for 2 hours.
Yeah. It's weird what your body will sleep through. I fell asleep during a dentist appointment once.
Oh my gosh.
I was so exhausted. I'm leaning back and like, they're, whatever, the poking with the sharp needle thing.
Wow.
And I nodded off during that. That's how tired I was.
Wow.
So
that's crazy. Crazy things drugs will do to you. But so I got a biopsy today, and then I got to wait a couple weeks while they determine whether or not it's cancerous. And if it is, then I will be getting a kidney removed. So if anyone's out there needs, an extra kidney with just a piece of cancer on it, just let me know.
Yeah, they don't usually want those ones.
No? They're not good enough? They're considered defective?
Yeah.
Oh,
did you get the gameplay guarantee on that, Sean?
I did, but this kidney is like almost 50 years old. I'm not sure if the warranty's still good.
Definitely not.
In fact, that kidney will be 50 years old exactly 1 month from today. So
yeah, it's time to get rid of it.
I've probably well over the warranty period on it.
Yeah, just get rid of it. Nice thing is you only need one.
It's a good thing I have an extra.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we go any further, give us a like, subscribe, and hit all those buttons, and help us out here on our YouTube channel. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you better get over to our YouTube channel, because as of next week, we're not going to be an audio channel anymore. We are going to be YouTube only with all of our other shows. And speaking of our other shows, we had some awesome kicking tables this week.
It was fun this week.
We had Castles of Mad King Ludwig, the collector's edition, and we spoke to the trade show manager of Bezier Games, and man, you could tell his excitement about the stuff they do there at Bezier, and I honestly, after talking to him about this game, which I had not played before. This is a 6-year-old game that they're now re-releasing as a collector's edition with upgraded pieces and all that stuff.
Exclusive
expansions, and all new artwork and everything, right? So, and I looked at him like, man, I want this game. Like, I went and I backed the game on Kickstarter. That's how excited I was after talking to him.
Yeah.
And we also talked last night with some guys. I can't remember where they are. But Quad City, Michigan. Thank you. Yeah, they're in Michigan. Quad City Killers, which is on Kickstarter now. That game sounds so much fun. You actually take
everyone.
The character. Everyone in the game takes a character of a serial killer, and you are trying to gain the most notoriety by killing the high value targets in the Quad Cities, which is a real place. This Quad City.
Six cities.
Yes. 6 cities make up the Quad Cities. So that sounds fun. Like a very, very tongue-in-cheek game. They haven't made it gory by any means. They had to make it kind of fun. And
it's family fun. It's sort of like dark humor and family fun.
In fact, and Tico, it is murderous fun for the whole family.
Yeah. I love just the take. And you can tell the passion these guys have from talking to them. And you can tell that these guys are gamers by the design that they have put on their box.
Oh my gosh.
Because they have gone with a retro, like anybody who grew up playing any Milton Bradley, Parker Brothers, that box style, that is the box that they're giving you. The ones from the commercials from the 80s.
From the 70s and 80s.
70s and 80s. It is absolutely fantastic. It's definitely one worth checking out.
Oh yeah. Quad City Killers, Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Go check them out. Check out our kicking tables that basically started this. Did we have one last week? I can't remember now. But anyway, we're back in full swing with kicking tables. Season 2 has started. So yeah, go check those out if you haven't already. And like I said, subscribe to the channel and you'll get notified when we upload new stuff. As for video gaming, Tico, I actually didn't do anything this week, but with the exception of you and I played some more VR mini golf, which is absolutely a fantastic experience.
Yeah.
Like it's just so great. It's like, let's play some mini golf, and the courses are so much fun. It feels like you're actually playing mini golf. That's what's so amazing about it.
It is, and I love how little room you actually need for that game. Like, Shannon was using the big TV out in the other room, so the area right in front of where I usually do my stuff. So I didn't want to disturb them because we were chatting.
Right.
So I came into my office and I basically took like a postage stamp area. I didn't even move my chair, like behind. Like I
know, because you accidentally hit it at one point.
When I was trying to gesture something to you, I'm like, oh yeah, I should be aware of where I am.
You were pointing somewhere over there. I was, oh crap! I just hit my.
Yeah,
chair.
But like just literally behind the chair. I didn't even move the chair out of the way, and I just used that spot. And because you're able to shift yourself around so easily, I was kicking your butt before the batteries died on my headset.
Oh, you were. That was a brutal night. Let me tell you. That course we played one of the hard courses. It was brutal. I just didn't matter what I did. It was the wrong hit. It was the wrong speed. It was the wrong power. Like, oh my gosh, it was a horrible game.
You lipped out a couple of times on holes, like stuff that you normally like drain from 5 feet away, and you're like just missing it, or
like just totally killing it, like in not a good way.
Yeah.
But I didn't turn on my consoles this week. It was a busy week, like again because we had quite a few interviews this week, so it's been a busy week. And I didn't play any games. I mean, did you play games at all other than VR golf?
So I've been I've been basically I hopped on to Borderlands 1.
The
I had a
original
problem with
Borderlands.
the remastered edition.
Oh, of
I had a
course.
problem playing that on the One X because for some reason, whenever you had too many enemies, it would just overheat the console and shut down. So I just gave up on it because I got frustrated after a while.
Mm.
And I'm like, all right, let's give this a try on the Series X, see if it has the same problems or not, and it doesn't. So I'm like, okay, so I fired through that and I actually finished Borderlands 1, but that's
Oh, you
an
actually
old
finished
game.
it.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever finished a Borderlands, like right to the end.
Well,
I've played the heck out of Borderlands, but I
Yeah.
don't know if I've ever actually finished any of the stories.
I've finished 1 and 2. 3, I've run into the same problems, and now it might be worth checking out again on the Series X. And the pre-sequel, I sort of got halfway through. There's just so much going on. I just
Yeah.
never finished it. I mean, I had fun with it, and I'm like, okay, let's hop into another one. I'm like, I played a lot of Borderlands. I'm going to maybe try to do something else. And it's, again, busy week, so I haven't done a ton this week.
Well, Borderlands 3 has a free upgrade to the next gen consoles. So
It does.
I have
Yeah.
that installed on my PS5, but I have not launched it yet. Again, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, honestly, that a couple weeks ago I talked about playing Assassin's Creed again, and then I haven't played anything else. And this week no video games whatsoever. But I was reading today that Cyberpunk 2077 finally got a huge big patch that's supposed to fix a lot of issues on the consoles, Stadia, and PC. It also apparently lays the groundwork for the next big patch, which is supposed to come shortly, as well as the PS5 Series X upgrades. Which is what I'm ultimately waiting for. I'm actually anxious to start playing it again, but I really want to wait for that next gen upgrade. I want to play
Now
it
that you've
like
now that you've already waited, like I
Well,
played
yeah.
it like from launch, so I'm like, okay, so like I didn't wait, I played it right away. Now that you've already waited, it's not like I'm gonna wait 2 months then play it on the the bad version of it.
right.
When
No,
you're
I'm just
so
gonna
close.
wait. I'm just gonna wait. Hopefully, and I don't know. They have not said when the next gen upgrade's coming. But in light of all the trouble they've been having, I mean, it's still not on the PlayStation Store. So Sony doesn't think it's stable enough yet to re-release in the store, right? Which
Yeah.
is one of the other reasons I did not request a refund, because I didn't want to just up and lose the game completely, right? And
Yeah,
have to
that's
wait
true.
for right.
If they have a hissy fit or get mad at them or whatever, and something happens, they're like, "Oh, we're not going to release the patch for PS."
Maybe it'll never come out again. Like, who
Yeah,
knows?
like, and they're just never. It'll just be an Xbox exclusive suddenly.
Right?
Technically, it's an Xbox exclusive right now.
Technically, it is an Xbox console exclusive.
It's an Xbox console timed exclusive right
That's
now.
right. That's right. It absolutely is. But yeah, I'm waiting for that. But yeah, it's been a crazy week for me for gaming, and what I mean by is I haven't done any. Well, I mean, heck, I'm still playing on my phone with the Harry Potter puzzles and spells. I play that every freaking night, Tico. That's literally, I get into bed and the first thing I do is I turn that on and I play the daily puzzle. So when you're in a club, there is a daily puzzle that everyone can play, and the number of stars you get for the club, because there's like a tier thing in the club. So the more puzzles you complete, the more stars or trophies you get for the club that week. It's always a weekly thing, and if you are in the top 5 clubs for the week in your rank, then you go to the next rank. So the daily puzzle, what's great about that is the more people that finish it, the more trophies you get, because it's a compounded trophy. First person gets 1 trophy, the next person gets 3, the next person gets 5, and so on. Right? So if you're like the 10th person to finish it, you get something like 18 trophies that's added on to all the other trophies that everyone else got for the club. So
Okay.
I always want to finish the daily trophy so we can try to. We're actually pretty good. We got up pretty quick. Now we're sort of in that tier where we're like almost making it to the next tier, but there's always another club just ahead of us. It's fun though. It's sort of like one of those really fun games to just struggle with trying to get your club up into the next tier. You
Yeah.
know? So yeah, I play that every day. That's sort of my before I go to sleep rituals. Play the daily puzzle there. If you've never played the puzzles and spells, check it out. It is a ton of fun. How about television and movies? Did you watch any movies this week? Anything new?
Movies? No.
Movies are these feature length programs. It's like television, only really long.
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten any movies done this week. I have watched a bunch of television.
Yeah, me too. And
know.
so, first of all, let's talk about the one thing I was excited that finally came back this week. I was excited, but also wary going into
Well,
it.
I was
Batwoman,
curious.
Batwoman Season 2 started,
Yeah.
and knowing that it was a new Batwoman, a new character and everything, I was like, I don't know what to think. But after watching the first episode, I was really pleasantly surprised at how good it was.
They integrated the new Batwoman in very well.
Yeah.
They left it potentially, enough of a thing open that if they wanted to bring her back, they could bring Kate back.
Maybe.
Well, they
Maybe.
didn't close the door entirely, is what I mean. Like,
No,
they
I mean,
basically,
in full comic book style, yes, they could easily bring her back.
yeah, like they left it the option of being able to bring back Kate at some point if that were ever something they wanted to do.
Right.
Obviously, they also closed that story, pretty significantly, while still giving the existing characters whose relationship was fully tied to her
Yeah.
a reason to be tied to the new Batwoman.
Right. That's what was great about it too. Is
Yeah.
now one of our concerns was every single character in that show was tied to Kate, and
Yeah.
their stories were tied to Kate. So without Kate Kane, how do you keep those characters tied to the overall Batwoman story? And they did that very well. In fact, I really like the new character.
Yeah.
What I actually kind of like about it is she doesn't really want to be Batwoman, right?
No,
she
she's just-
stumbles into it for that episode, and for a singular reason. But once that singular reason has been taken care of, she's like, I'm done.
She's like, I don't want to be
Right.
this anymore.
I don't want to
Here's
be
your
this
costume.
symbol. Like, because Batwoman is a symbol. She's like, I'm not that symbol. I'm not Batwoman. And so I kind of like that because now we're going to see that true origin story of why she becomes Batwoman for real. Yeah, I thought it was really well done. Dorothy was also really wary about going into it. And at the end, I just said to her, I said, well, that was a lot better than I was expecting. And she totally agreed.
Yeah.
She says, yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I liked, some of the things that we did see. We got a Batmobile finally.
Oh my gosh, right? And not a crazy looking one either.
No, it's basically just a souped up sports car.
Yeah. Black, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Well, she's got to put some red on it now, I think. If she's going to drive it.
Yeah.
There's got to be some red bat symbol on it or something. The only thing that I'm not crazy about in some of the promotional material, they removed the red hair from the cowl.
Yeah.
Right? And it looks like it's just her hair. And I'm like, I don't know if I like that because the red hair is Batwoman. That is her costume,
Yeah. But it's not the same Batwoman. That
No,
was
I know
Kate's
it's not.
costume.
I get that. But I think for me, it's the look of Batwoman that has always attracted me to the character. Just that actual costume with that flowing red hair. It's just because it's so bright and vibrant, right? Because it's black, it's red and black everything, including the red hair. And the red hair is not the person under the cowl. So now
Yeah.
they're taking the new character and they're letting her own hair be outside the cowl, which is like, well, now
I
she's less
personally think it looks
disguised.
better.
But she's
I
less
think it looks
disguised,
well, yeah, but
right?
nobody knows who she is, so it's okay. I actually like the look better. I'm not a big fan of the fake red hair like that. Because it looks like it's a wig attached to a cowl.
And that's the whole point, because it really
Yeah.
hides who she is. You know, I don't know. I've always been attracted to that costume, so it's going to take me a bit to get used to the red hair being gone when they eventually get rid of it.
Well, deal with it.
Well, on the note of the CW shows, I saw a new trailer for Superman and Lois, which starts next month, February.
Yeah.
And wow, does it ever look like it's going to be kind of like almost like a dramatic take? Not lighthearted like Supergirl or The Flash. It looks like it's going to be more serious tone.
Arrow?
Not quite as dark as Arrow, but somewhere
Yeah.
in between. You know?
Okay.
And they're talking about the sort of theme around Superman and Lois is the struggles of essentially being a superhero while also trying to raise a family. Right?
It is a problem.
but-
It's something that we deal with every day.
Every day, Chico. Here's the thing I
Every
don't
day.
understand, however. So 2 years ago, last year, the crossover, baby Jonathan was born,
Yeah.
right? But in this trailer, he's a teenager all of a sudden. So is
Yeah.
this taking place 15 years in the future?
Is this a time jump? Is this just a really fast growing kid? When is it set?
Right? I don't get it. Like, is this not taking place at the same time as Flash and Batwoman and Supergirl? Like, I don't understand that. How can Jonathan be a teenager already?
It's possible they are doing a separate, sort of doing that time jump in order to separate it from the other shows.
And again, that goes right back to my issue with Green Arrow and the Canaries.
Yeah.
Why I didn't like the time jump there, because it precludes any crossovers with Superman.
Yeah. Why go through the trouble of merging all the Earths
If you're never going to cross over again.
if you're gonna have to break it up to timelines?
Right. Right?
Like, the whole point of merging it was so that everybody could hang out whenever they felt like it.
Yeah, and now, well, think about think about what they've done here. First of all, yes, they merged all the Earths. Great.
Yeah.
Merged all the Earths. They went on, finished the seasons, and now we've got Supergirl ending.
Yeah.
We've got Black Lightning ending.
Yeah.
We've got Stargirl that's not even on the same Earth. And now we've got Superman in a different time. So what do we have left? The Flash. That is it.
Yeah.
We've got the Flash left in that timeline. Because Legends of Tomorrow doesn't even count, because they are literally time travelers.
They're time travelers. Yeah.
So what was the point of Infinite Earths if all these shows are either disappearing or are completely separate now again anyway? I mean, the whole fun thing about the CW shows was the crossovers. Not that the shows aren't great. I love the shows, but I love how connected they were, and now they're disconnecting them.
And the big tease at the end with the JLA forming,
Right? Exactly.
Right? And then we're never gonna, like, it's like, all right, we've got the JLA, and we're never gonna talk about it again.
We're never gonna see it again. Exactly.
What?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching Superman and Lois because it's Superman and Lois, and the trailer actually makes it look pretty cool.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Man of Steel, the tone of Man of Steel, the movie.
Okay.
Very, like, more grounded in reality, like a little more serious, less light-hearted Superman, but certainly not like Justice League Superman.
Yeah.
You know, I would relate it to it felt to me more like Man of Steel Superman, and not so Zack Snyder black dark, you know, gritty. It's not dark and gritty. It's just sort of a little more feeling like it's grounded in a reality. You
Yeah.
know?
I'll have to check out that trailer.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Looks really cool. Dorothy and I tonight, just today, we sat down and got hooked on a show just started on Netflix today called Fate: The Winx Saga.
Okay, so I saw this. And I saw that and I assumed this was the child's cartoon.
It is
Winx Club, and
it is based on the Winx Club, the old cartoon, the Nickelodeon cartoon about fairies in a fairy school.
So, but this is not animated. This is not
No.
just another animated Winx.
This is a live action reinterpretation of the Winx Club, which used to be for kids. This is now a typical think Vampire Diaries teen drama. Okay? I would say it's on the level of Vampire Diaries. It's got the sort of bit of a gore, it's got a bit of a scares, you know, there's lots of supernatural stuff going on. But I would say if you are a fan of things like Vampire Diaries, then definitely watch the Winx Saga. It's actually so good. Here's my problem with it, Tico. It's 6 freaking episodes. 6! What kind of a season is 6 episodes? Come on, Netflix.
Is it British? Is
well,
it British?
It takes... Well, everyone has a British accent.
Okay, that's why it's 6. That's why it's 6 episodes.
But it's a Netflix show.
It was probably purchased by Netflix when, you know, they went on a purchasing run, but it was probably initially prepared for the BBC or something like that.
I would say, honestly, I'd say no. I'd say it is truly a Netflix show because the quality and the special effects are top notch. Like, I'm talking top-notch special effects. You don't usually get that with a core BBC show.
Like at the top of the notch.
If you can see the notch,
yeah,
right at the top of it is their budget for special effects.
Well, that's not
BBC doesn't usually have that kind of budget. You know what I mean?
Are you kidding me? Have you not seen Doctor Who?
I watch Doctor Who every week. Come on, their
the
special effects
involved in Doctor Who
is not the Winx Saga special effects.
So I meant for the entire 25 seasons so far.
Right. They have
combined.
They have the same budget as one episode of the Winx Saga.
Okay.
I actually really like it. I am really enjoying it. Great characters. Interesting sort of mystery. You're not really sure who to trust type thing. You know? It's lots of
the fairies.
Lots of things being revealed. No, the fairies are the good these are good
But fairies are also known tricksters.
Listen. It's not that kind of fairy. They don't even have wings, so...
Well, they'll get wings.
You know, it actually really reminds me a lot of, like, a Harry Potter. It feels like a Harry Potter, but they're fairies instead of wizards and witches.
Fairy Potter.
It's Fairy Potter. It's exactly what it is. It's Fairy Potter. And it's funny because they, at one point... in the very first episode, right as the moment you're thinking, man, she's just like Hermione, you know? And then as soon as I said that, they started talking about Harry Potter on the show.
Oh, they broke the fourth wall.
One girl said, "Have you not read Harry Potter?" Something like that. It's like, wait a minute. Wait, I literally just said, "Hey, she's Hermione." And they start talking about Harry Potter. It was so weird. Did you watch Blown Away on Netflix?
All right, I don't know what this is. Is this the glass blowing?
The glass blowing thing that was filmed in Hamilton.
That.
It was filmed in Hamilton.
Watch
remember?
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Season 2 just started today, Tico. A glass blowing competition. It is so much fun to watch. I'm trying to figure out where it is, and I have a feeling, Tico, it might be one of the old DeFasco buildings. I think that might be. Anymore? Yeah, because DeFasco's not there anymore, right?
No, the buildings are no longer there either.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
they kind of got flattened. Yeah,
Okay, well then,
yeah,
when
a
you
couple years
watch
ago.
it, have a look at the building they're in and tell me where you think that it could possibly be. It's a big warehouse that they basically have refitted to film Blown Away.
Is it like an old style looking
Very
warehouse?
old brick. It's
Oh,
got like a
I
brick tower with like, that would have been a smoke tower.
I know exactly where it is.
Really?
No, I'll take a look and
Yeah, take a look and tell me if you can figure out where you think that is filmed. I'm really trying to figure out. I keep looking up online too. Where is Blown Away filmed? And all it says is Hamilton. I know it's Hamilton.
Did you
Where in
check
Hamilton?
IMDb?
Sorry?
You check IMDb?
I checked everywhere. All it says is Hamilton. It won't actually specify where in Hamilton.
I will find out for you. I can tell you exactly where it was.
But yeah, I'm excited. This time they brought in people from all over the world. They got somebody from Japan. I think it was Japan. They got someone from Australia, from England, like everywhere. It's like it's not just a bunch of Canadians and Americans. It's
Yeah.
people from all over the world have now been applied and gotten in. So very cool. You know, it's one of those shows where you're almost as invested in these creations as the creators, because as you're watching, you're like, "Don't drop it! Don't drop it!" you know.
And then they drop it.
And then they drop it. You're like,
Oh, sorry,
ah,
no, sorry. Then they cut to commercial.
no. Then they drop it. Yeah, there was one. It was a beautiful plate, and she had a nice design on it, and she just went and turned around. The whole thing just went like, ah, no. It's really cool.
I'll have to check that out.
I mean, we really enjoyed the first season, so I'm really happy. I had no idea season 2 was coming, so it was a really nice surprise to see it was there.
I will watch random reality shows just for the sake of watching stuff. I remember I watched that arm wrestling show just because
Oh
it
my
was.
gosh. You
So-
also watched that tag show, Ultimate Tag.
I did watch Ultimate Tag. It was really stupid.
It was terrible, but I watched 20 minutes. You watched several episodes.
Oh yeah, I watched the full season.
Oh my gosh. Why?
Yeah, I watched because I miss American Gladiators. That's why.
This isn't American
No,
Gladiators.
but it's as close as you're gonna get. They gave nicknames to all of the taggers. That's as close
Yeah.
as you're gonna get right now.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
so. I watched a new show today.
Yeah, you watched a show I want to watch. I'm really interested in it.
Yeah. So Walker, the remake or remaster or whatever you want to call
It's a
of
remake.
Walker,
A reimagining.
Remake.
Yeah.
reimagining of Walker, Texas Ranger, starring Jared Padalecki. Is that how you say his name?
Sam from Supernatural,
Yeah,
who had that job before Supernatural even ended.
yeah. Well, they knew what Supernatural was ending. So
No, I know. That's why I'm just. It was because I saw it. I said to Dorothy, I said, "Oh, there's the new Walker. I really want to watch that because it's Sam from Supernatural." She said, "Well, he didn't take long getting another gig." I said, "No, he had that gig before Supernatural even ended."
Yeah. It's so far it's just okay.
Oh,
I don't know. It's
is he
it-
still? Does he still seem like Sam?
you know what it does. I think that might be a little bit of it. It feels like one of those episodes where they get pulled into a TV show or something like that.
So Sam's been pulled into another show or something. You can't
Yeah.
get past the whole fact that he's Sam.
I mean, eventually I will. I mean, it's a little not dark, but I don't know. Like they've sort of gone a little depressing with it. It's not like just him kicking ass
Right.
sort of thing. Is what you know,
Well,
like the old one.
It's not Chuck Norris, or
It's not
it's not.
yeah. Chuck Norris.
Was it Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris
Or was it-
Walker, Texas Ranger. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking I had it wrong, but yeah. Okay. Chuck Norris. Yeah, he's not Chuck Norris.
Yeah. So it's a different feel. It's more of an emotional take on it. You know, obviously, like I don't know how many spoilers, and I don't really remember what the.
Well, I think that's the
original-
description of it, doesn't he? He loses his wife or something, and
Yeah, he loses his wife, and so it's him in Texas, you know, solving
yeah,
different crimes. But it
He
feels
moves
like
back to Texas, I think, doesn't he?
no,
Doesn't he
he's
come
in-
back to Texas because his
He's
wife
in
dies?
Texas, and then he leaves, and then he comes back. Like he leaves when his wife dies, then he comes back, and I
I
guess like he's
gotcha.
left his family, like his kids, and everybody, and he's coming back trying to, you know,
Reconcile.
get back into their lives while still solving crimes. But it's like it's not like like the bad guy of the week thing where he's just going to be
Oh.
punching and kicking people. I think
Well,
it's more like a.
one episode, right? So maybe it is. Maybe this is just the pilot.
It could be. It feels like it's going to be like a mystery and stuff like that, where the whole thing is going to be revolve around him figuring out like something else is tied to his wife's death.
Oh, sounds very Lethal Weapon-y. That's what they did with
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon with Riggs.
Right. Yeah. So it's more that, but less comedic
Right.
of a take than a lot of the remakes that we've seen, like with MacGyver and Magnum and stuff like that, where they have sort of that humorous take.
Well, Jared
on.
Padalecki's not a comedy actor.
No, well, I mean he's done, but the thing is, like he's done a comedic take, a dry comedic take in Supernatural.
Well,
the
yes,
writing
yes
in
and
this
no. Here's the
feels-
thing, though. Jensen Ackles was more the comedic take
Right,
than
he plays the straight man.
right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
Jared is more of the straight man. Jensen was always the goof.
They didn't but they haven't given him the goof
Right.
in this show. Like there's nothing. It's all straight man,
Yeah.
and it feels maybe a little too intense. There was a show out last year with somebody, and I can't remember, called The Deputy, which feels very similar to this, is in like a very dark sort of feeling, like a very downer vibe to it. So
okay.
far, at least.
All right. Well, I want to give it a shot.
No,
just,
you can't.
as
All
a
right, you're allowed.
As a fan of Supernatural, I kind of want to see what he's doing. I've always found that Jared Padalecki's acting always felt stiff to begin with.
Yeah.
Like he has this very distinct mannerism about him, especially with his facial expressions. It's just there's something weird about his mannerisms, and I didn't know if that was Sam or Jared. You know what I mean?
Yes, we've not seen him in a ton of stuff.
No.
I mean, Supernatural.
But before Supernatural, it was the Gilmore Girls.
I've never seen the Gilmore Girls.
He played Dean on the Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
And then
I've never seen that show, but he was in Friday the 13th, the movie, though.
Was he?
The remaster of Friday the 13th.
Okay. I'll believe
He's
you.
good in it.
I'll believe you.
Why would I make that up?
You're the horror guy.
Yeah, I am.
Did you watch episode 3 of WandaVision?
I did, and let me tell you, the one thing I was most upset about was it was only one episode this week.
Oh my gosh.
They
right?
dropped 2 episodes last week, and I'm like, okay, well, it's weekly, but at least we'll get 2 episodes. Nope, 1 episode.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious why they did that. And I'm wondering if it's because like the pacing of the first 2 episodes, they were both black and white, and they both kind of felt like one. They both had. They both kind of concluded a bit of a mystery. The second one gave a better cliffhanger than the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think
maybe I
really
wonder.
they needed to sort of get you hooked on the story right away with the 2.
Because it's so different as well.
Yeah.
Right? They want people sticking around, and I think the second one had much more of a punch to it to really get your interest. Like, oh, whoa, what's going on? I need to watch more. Whereas if they had given you only the first one, you'd been like, okay, I guess, But the third one, so for those of you who have not watched the third one, we're going to do a couple of minutes of spoilers, so go ahead and fast forward just a bit if you haven't watched it and don't want to be spoiled. So starting now, we're going to spoil WandaVision Season 3. Just a few minutes.
Just about 5
Maybe
minutes.
5 minutes. So this was a total Brady Bunch
Absolutely.
era.
Even the opening credits went full Brady Bunch.
Full Brady Bunch in the opening credits.
Yeah.
And Wanda, just like that, went 9 months through a pregnancy and had her twins.
And not only that, but the entire town has changed to the 70s.
Oh,
now
the whole.
as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, they did the first. They did the first episode to the second episode. I just dropped a whole bunch of stuff on the floor.
Pick it up later, Sean. We're in the middle of the
No,
show.
look what they are. Wait. Look what I dropped. A bunch of floppy disks that I found in my back room. These are programs I wrote while in college. So I went and I actually ordered a USB floppy disk drive so I could copy these all onto my computer and keep them. Anyway, I stupidly stacked them at my feet and just kicked them
That
over.
was yeah. So they switched to the '70s now. We're in color. All of the townsfolk have they've got afros and
Yeah.
like they're all that the house has been converted to the Brady Bunch house.
Pretty much. Brady Bunch
It's
look like the very
oh
same.
no, almost identical
No,
to the Brady Bunch
it
house.
was not the Brady Bunch.
Almost
The
identical.
door's in the wrong spot. The stairs are in the wrong spot. The kitchen's in the wrong spot. It's not the Brady Bunch house.
Did I say identical? I said almost.
I said it is the Brady Bunch style of the same house they've been in. So it's the same house they've been in for all three, but they always change the style of it.
Yeah.
So it slightly changes by the era, but it's still the same house. So the kids were born, Billy and
Tommy.
Tommy, which is true to the comics.
Yeah.
Thomas and William. But I think the biggest thing is the new reveal, the new what the heck is going on reveal.
At the end where she...
Not just at the end, in the middle as well, right? Near the end, when Vision goes outside. First of all, Vision says, what's going on? Like, he has a question. Something's not right here. And then suddenly the screen goes blank, and it comes back on, and we're at, like, the previous scene, and it plays again in a different way. Like, she completely reset the show.
Right,
Which,
yeah.
Because he was starting to say, something's not right here. Then... what's her name? Geraldine?
Geraldine.
So the twins were born, and Wanda says, I used to have a twin. His name was Pietro. And all of a sudden, Geraldine snaps out of whatever trance she's in, and she says, Pietro was killed by Ultron, wasn't he? And Wanda basically like, what did you say? Like, almost like in an angry way. What did you say? And then she tries to hide it. So I'm starting to believe that Geraldine isn't being controlled by the simulation. She was a sleeper agent.
I think I figured out what's going on.
Okay.
Because there was a couple of things there. Number one, the neighbors were talking and they told Vision she doesn't have a house here. She doesn't belong here.
She doesn't belong. That's right.
She doesn't belong here. So I think that Geraldine is Monica Rambeau.
I think so too.
Well, obviously, we know she's Monica Rambeau.
We know she's wrong, Monica Rambeau.
Yeah. So, and I think that what has happened is the Scarlet Witch has created a bubble alternate reality in this small town, which has basically converted everything, not the full world, but just a bubbled area of just the this small town.
In Westview, which is a real town. We find out at the end of the show it's actually a real town.
Yeah. So in this area, and she's controlling that. Shield or Sword has sent her in trying to figure out what's going on with Wanda and this bubble.
Or try to get her out, try to snap her out of it.
Try to snap her out of it. Once she goes in, she goes under the same trance that everybody else is in, which we've seen people snap in and out of little bits as she sort of loses a little bit of the control.
I actually feel that Geraldine is not under the control. And I'll tell you why I think that. In the second episode where we see her for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. When Wanda introduces herself to her, she says, I'm Wanda. She actually stutters. She actually says,
until they shake hands.
Until they shake hands.
Until she touches her.
She stutters as she's making up a name.
See, I think it's the other way around. I think that she's in the simulation that Wanda's created. She doesn't know who she is because she's got her brain, and then when she takes her hand is when she feeds that information into her brain. This is the person you're supposed to be in the simulation, and that's when they touch, and that's where and I think that she snapped out of it at bits, and that's why she gets launched out.
Well, she gets launched out because she gets launched out because Wanda doesn't want her there anymore.
Yeah.
Because she tried to hide it. She didn't snap back into the trance at all. She was trying to cover up what she said.
I think you are wrong.
I think you are wrong, and I'm right. Oh. I think Monica was sent in as an agent.
I think she was sent in as well.
She was not under control.
I think she's fully under control.
Well, then Wanda would have kept her there.
No, I think she was fully under control until the very end of that when she snaps out of it, and Wanda then realizes that she shouldn't be there and has sent her out. I don't think Wanda had full
Then why did she not eject Dottie when she snapped out of it?
because Dottie snapped right back in.
So did Geraldine then.
She didn't though. I think part of it is she realizes what's going on. Like I think that's like Wanda doesn't fully know what she's doing.
Well, I don't
either.
think so either.
I think this is like almost like just something that her subconscious is doing.
I think so too. I don't think Wanda understands what's going on. All she knows is she's got the life she wants with Vision.
Yeah.
And she's being influenced by old American television, which is probably what she grew up on in
watching in Sokovia.
In Sokovia. She grew up watching American television sitcoms, so she's building this life around what she believes is the idyllic American life.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't think Monica was brainwashed. I think she was hiding it all the whole time. There was tiny little hints to me that showed me that she was essentially an agent the whole time.
I think that she's in and out of the reality. I think that she's jumping in and out of the.
Well, what about Agnes? Agnes knows something's wrong too.
I think that Agnes might be influencing this. Agnes, I believe there's a character name. I can't remember the
Madame.
Madame A.
Yeah.
Madame
Agatha.
Yeah, so she's a witch. I think that she is in there and she is manipulating this scenario because in the comics she wanted Wanda to have
the children,
the twins, the children.
But she also helps Wanda control her powers. She's not a bad witch. She helps Wanda control herself.
Yeah.
And
so I think that she's helping to manipulate this scenario. That's why she's like, like when she was talking to the neighbors, like, keep your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth shut. Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is WandaVision Season 3. Definitely been more than 5 minutes. So welcome back if you fast forwarded. I thought this was interesting. We've got a couple of things to talk about for television stuff, or it could be even movies. But Warner Brothers has actually put a single person in charge of the Harry Potter universe, the Harry Potter Wizarding World franchise, much like Kevin Feige and Marvel,
The MCU, yeah. So they're trying to build.
And it's like, wow, this is interesting that maybe we might start seeing new Harry Potter franchises pop up, whether it's in movies or television. This is really interesting to me.
This is ripe for the Children of Hogwarts TV series of some sort.
Hogwarts, the next generation.
Yeah, but this, it really is like this is the sort of thing that you could like a serial show based on, kids at Hogwarts, whenever it happens to happen in the timeline.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. Like I said, the Fate, the Winx Saga feels like it's Harry Potter. But you could totally take Harry Potter and make a television show out of it. A television series out of Harry Potter. Like, even if it's 50 years ago or 100 years ago, whatever. Right? Honestly, time doesn't matter when you're talking about Hogwarts. Because everything looks old anyway. There is no modern...
You don't need to have... It doesn't need to be Harry Potter. It can be...
No, that's what I'm saying. It could be 200 years ago. Everything looks the same anyway. Everything is ancient to begin with.
Yeah,
when you're talking about Hogwarts.
They work almost. Yeah, they're going with the old wizarding ways, the steampunk and everything like that.
Right, exactly. There's no modern technology in Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's not like Harry's not pulling out an iPhone at any point.
Right. Whereas the Winx with the fairies are. Fairies are using iPhones and everything. which I find odd because they're not even on Earth. They're actually in a different world, right?
Well, yeah, but you'd think that Apple would have expanded there.
I guess they expanded to the fairy world.
Yeah.
So I think actually I'm kind of excited about that. I kind of hope that means new franchises, whether it's television or movies or whatever. Like expand the Harry Potter. It doesn't have to be Harry Potter. That's why they call it Wizarding World, though. It's not Harry Potter. It's the Wizarding World.
Yeah,
right?
Like there's stories that haven't been told. I mean, we saw all the stuff, the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a 5-movie series. Which and I'm like, really? You got to what?
You got to find more than one beast.
Well, it's not even about that anymore. Like the third, actually, the second movie was awful. I couldn't even get through it. Like what? I don't even know what's going on. The second one, it was terrible, and they haven't even done the third one yet. They got to they're replacing Johnny Depp in the third one because of everything going on with Amber Heard, which I think is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Also, something else is ridiculous, Chico. Black Widow is facing yet another delay.
Oh.
So it
you're
may
gonna get
not.
another poster with the new release date. You know, then you'll have 3 Black Widow posters.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to release it on November 6th so that poster behind me is accurate again.
Just off by a year.
Because it doesn't say a year there. Right? But yeah, but the problem is, if you delay Black Widow, that means everything else also gets delayed again.
Well, potentially. Black Widow was a prequel. The only thing it does is it introduces the new Black Widow, depending on where she falls within their plans.
Yes.
So they could, like, well, we can release this as a prequel, so we can release this whenever we want, and we release a short or something like that introduces Yelena.
I don't know. If Yelena has anything to do with the Eternals, which I doubt she will. I think Eternals will be a standalone.
Yeah.
But Shang-Chi may tie to it somehow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All I know is they kept saying that Black Widow was the beginning of the next chapter. So if it's no longer that, like, are they going to go completely out of order now again? I don't know what they're doing, but...
They really don't want to give up that theater box office, and they're really hoping
they're not going to put it on Disney Plus. They're not going to do a Disney Plus, premium access thing with it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They don't want to give up the full theater, so they're trying to get this in once the vaccines have gone out and people will go to the movie theaters again. I don't think people will, to be entirely honest with you.
I think they will for Black Widow. If I'm being honest, they will for Marvel. If anything can fill another theater, Marvel can.
I don't know. Like the first time we see that, and all of a sudden some new, the Marvel strain of the virus comes out.
The Black Widow virus.
The Black Widow virus, yeah. Like they're going to have some outbreak that happens at some theater, and that's
depending on when it is. There's still got to be, you got to have every second row empty. It's got to be like 3 seats between people and all that stuff. I still think it would fill theaters more than any other movie has. Like
I think it will. I mean, we can see that, particularly in the States, that people don't really care now. Like, a lot of
people. I wouldn't say all people, but a lot.
They'd go out and see a Winx movie, and fill the theaters for it if they popped one out there.
Well, they did go and see Tenet, and that movie made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out.
I can't even fathom what the heck is going on in Tenet. It just makes no sense to me. Like, I get the idea that things are traveling backwards in time.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that happened in it that don't make sense, because if something's traveling back in time, it had to have happened first for it to happen again. And near the beginning, when the guy's learning about it, he puts his hand over the table and a bullet falls up into his hand.
Yeah.
But he didn't drop the bullet to begin with. So how did that happen?
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
it doesn't make sense. I get it's a cool idea, but it doesn't make sense.
The concept is really neat if you're willing to shut off half of your brain.
It's really neat if you, like you said, shut off your brain and don't even try to make sense of it. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, that's the half of the brain you have to shut off.
Because it doesn't make sense. But Dorothy and I watched it for I don't know, maybe an hour, if that. And I turned to Dorothy, I said, I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, I watched the whole thing. And I can tell you, once you've watched the whole thing, it doesn't make any sense.
You still don't know what's going on.
I still don't know. I mean, maybe it's me. I'm sure there's smarter people than me out there be going, well, how does he not understand it? He watched the whole thing.
Christopher Nolan understands it.
Does he? Does he?
I don't know. Maybe the whole thing was a dream in his other movie.
Yeah, it's all an Inception. That's the
all an
whole-
Inception dream. You know,
That I would
and
believe.
and it's all being remembered by his first protagonist who couldn't remember anything and everything was backwards. In Memento, it all took place in Memento. That's why everything was going backwards. You see,
I liked Memento. That was
Memento
a great
was
movie.
awesome,
I understood that one.
and so was Inception.
Inception, I really enjoyed too. There was bits and pieces of that sort of left you going, okay, what happened where? But at least
That's because of the
understood
multiple dream levels.
yeah, but at least you understood at the end. The point was saying, was that still an Inception? This
Right.
one here, I'm like,
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Sean.
What?
I
Anyway,
don't-
we don't know what's going on, so that must be the end of the show. Because
Done. I'm
yeah,
out of here. See you later. Oh yeah, we have the thing we have to do at the end where we say stuff.
this has been episode 399, people. Next week, our final episode where we say goodbye.
This is the penultimate episode, Sean.
This is the penultimate episode of Forever. And next week, we have a special guest joining us. So be sure to tune in for episode 400. But first, give us a like, subscribe, and comment. Come on over to YouTube if you're not already. youtube.com/OMG Nexus. You can follow us on Twitter at OMG Nexus. And on Facebook, we are also OMG Nexus. And I am Ziantane everywhere. And that is, as always, XIANTAYNE, even after next week. That will still be true.
Will it though? Will it?
Absolutely.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place, and on Instagram, Flipping Tables with OMG is where we share all of our exciting board game stuff.
So go check it out. Thanks everybody for joining us for $3.99. We'll be back next week with the big 400.
Bye, guys.
But first, subscribe if you want to get notified of 400.
Press. $3.99 feels like it's a price that you're charging, which is a great deal.
It is
So
a
press the button.
fantastic deal. Press that button for $3.99, and what do you get? You get great quality content.
We'll throw in 400 for free.
Absolutely. It's free.